Hey guys, this look is just a tutorial on the eyes. So I'm just going to go in now with a Peaches and Creams PC03 brush. Just going to take the shade Love Handle and I'm just going to run that from inner corner to the outer corner. And I'm winging it out just on the edges. So I'm doing circular motions and also windscreen wiper motions, but I am being very soft. And I'm just using a big brush for quickness. Obviously a smaller brush would cover a smaller area, so it would just take longer. So because all my base makeup's already done, I'm just going to go in with my Fenty Beauty sponge and a bit of translucent powder. I'm just going to bake under the eye. Powder will basically catch any fallout and it won't mess up the rest of my makeup. So first of all, I'm going to go in with a Zoeva 227 Luxe Soft Definer brush and I'm going to take the shade Comfort Zone. Yeah, I'm going to take the shade Comfort Zone, which is this one. And I'm going to start by putting this just on the outer corners of the eye. This shade is very pigmented as well. So I'm just going to do the same to the other eye. I'm just packing that colour on just in the outer corner. And I'm just taking this colour where my crease is, so where my eyeball naturally dips in. And if you don't know where your crease is, you can just gently press your brush against your eyelid. It's the part where your eyeball dips in. I'm just taking that colour just above my natural crease. And that will just give the illusion that my eye is bigger than what it actually is. So I'm now going to take the Morphe M518 brush and I'm just going to blend out these edges with the shade Perfectionist. I'm just going to gently take Perfectionist to buff over the shade Comfort Zone, just over the edges very lightly. So the next brush I'm going to go in with is the Morphe and Jeffree Star JS6 brush, and I'm just going to be deepening the middle of the crease, so just above the pupil, with the shade Thick Skin, which is this one. So I'm just placing the brush flat against my eyelid. And then I'm just going to take the Morphe M518 brush, and on this I had the shade Perfectionist, so I'm not going to add any more colour. I'm just going to tickle over the edges with whatever's left on the brush now. So I feel like this eye needs a little bit more of the shade Thick Skin. So I'm just going to add a little bit more because I feel like they are slightly different. Not by much, but just a little bit. So Morphe M518 again, just to tickle over the edges now. So I'm going to take the first shade again, which was Comfort Zone, which was this shade. And I'm taking it back on the same brush that I initially used, which was the Zoeva 227. And I'm just going to darken up the outer corners. And just run that once over the whole eye look. Well, not once over, that was a few times over actually. So yeah, just give it a little blend until you feel like there's no harsh line. So a good tip to achieve a very flawless blown out look is to be very, very gentle with the blending. You don't want to be pushing your brush hairs into your skin. You just want to be literally as gentle as possible. The softer that you blend, the softer that the eyeshadow colour will end up. So I'm just going to go in straight away with Get Ready With Me, but I'm going to spray it, see if this makes much difference. So I'm spraying the Zoeva 234 and I'm taking now the shade Get Ready With Me. The Jeffree Star 6 and Morphe brush again, picking up Thick Skin, and I'm just going to go through the crease to make sure that the glitter blends with the other colours. So I'm just going from inner corner to outer corner very, very gently. And like I've said, that is the key to making sure that everything blends together nicely. So I'm just going to take the Morphe M518, going back in with the shade Perfectionist just to blend this harsh line on the outer edge of this eye. So what I'm going to do now is just take a little bit of the black just to deepen up the outer edges. So I'm going to take the black on a Zoeva 231 brush. This is the Luxe Petite Crease brush. So I'm just going in with the black, which is the shade Temptress. Notice that I'm using a smaller brush because black is a little bit harder to blend and we just need it to be below the crease. We don't want to take the black above our crease. I'm just putting a little bit along that lash line and then just stamping it on to the outer corner. And to blend this black, I'm just going to take a fluffy brush, a clean brush. This is the Zoeva Luxe Defined Crease 224 brush. And then all I'm going to do is just take the Morphe Jeffree Star JS6 brush into the shade Thick Skin, which is this one, and just run that through the outer corner to the inner corner. I'm just going to take the Zoeva 227 Luxe Soft Definer brush. So I'm going to take the shade Homebody and I'm just going to press that over where the black meets the gold shimmer. And that's just to give the eye a more ombre effect to make it look a lot more blended. And now I'm just going to take the Makeup Forever Artist Colour Pencil in the shade Whatever Black. So I'm just going to run this along the inner corner of my top waterline. I'm just going to look down into a compact mirror while I do this. So even just adding that little tiny bit of liner just makes everything a lot more defined. And now to set that eyeliner on the top waterline, I'm going to take the Zoeva 226 smudger brush and I'm going to dip that into the black shade in the palette, which is called Temptress, and I'm simply just going to press this on top of where I've put this eyeliner pencil. And then once it's pressed on, I'm just going to run it along. Once I know that it's set in place, now I can start smudging it out a little bit now that it's been set with eyeshadow. So now what I'm going to do is take the same pencil and I'm just going to put this in the waterline now. I'm just going to do one line. I'm going to keep this just to the waterline. I'm not going to smudge this right down underneath the waterline. I'm simply just going to keep it in the waterline. I'm going to set the waterline using the shade Temptress. Now I'm going to take the Peaches and Creams PC17 brush just to dust away some of this powder, because obviously it's going to be very hard to put eyeshadow over powder. On a Zoeva 230 Luxe pencil brush, so I'm dipping in to the shade Get Ready With Me and I'm just going to run that underneath my waterline. I'm going to build this up in sections now. So I'm going to start on the outer section, the outer corner, and then I'm going to go to the middle of the eye, the centre of the eye, just to make sure that there's enough pigment. And then I'm going to go to the inner corner now. So with the Morphe M332, is just take the shade Grateful, which is this one, and I'm just going to blend that underneath the colours I've already ran onto the bottom waterline, and that's just to join this wing into the eyeshadow. So I'm going back into Grateful again, building it up in sections. Now the false eyelashes that I'm going to be using, they are Peaches and Creams, but I'm not sure what number this style of lash is, but it looks like this anyway. So I'm going to be using the Duo Glue and I'm just going to apply these. I really do find it hard to talk though while I'm doing lashes, so if I'm quiet, forgive me. So I'm just going to run some of the glue along the lash band, and I always make sure to put extra on the inner corner and outer corner because that's where lashes normally will peel up from. So what I'll do as well is I'll always wait about 20 seconds or so just to give the lash glue a chance to go a little bit tacky. I'm just going to do some mascara. So I take the mascara and wiggle it right to the edge of the root. So while the lash bands are still tacking up, I'm just going to take MAC's Mineralised Skin Finish in the shade Give Me Sun. So it's just a bronzer, and I'm going to take the Peaches and Creams PC17 brush and just run the bronzer from the inner corner of my eyeshadow, just taking this edge right out. So just flicking the edge out a little bit, and that's just to make it look more natural and like it blends in more. I'll just run a little bit of bronzer just across here. Only on the outer corners though. I'm not going to run the bronzer right to the inner corners of the bottom lash line. So I'm going to go in now with my lashes, and I'm going to be taking these on a pair of tweezers. And what I like to do is just drop the lash down. So I will look down, and then I'll just place the lash onto my own natural lash line. So now that that's on, I'm just going to pinch the lashes together with my own natural lash. And this part is not the fun part. Ugh. This is where it always feels like my eye's going to water. I'm just going to go in with the shade Ride or Diamond. So to get maximum impact, I will just twirl the brush into the eyeshadow colour, press the brush flat on the inner corner, and I'll just give one twirl around just to make sure it's fully pressed in. I'm just going to touch up the rest of my face. So for my contour, I'm going to be using the Peaches and Creams PC04 brush, and I'm going to be going in with MAC's Give Me Sun Mineralised Skin Finish. And I always like to make sure that the back end of the cheekbone, so towards the hairline, always make sure that that's the darkest, because that's the most natural looking way of contour. So I'll put a little bit on the forehead, on the hollows of the cheeks, and I'm going to be using the Real Techniques blush brush for my blush, and I'm going to be using the Holly Boone Dare to Be Different Feeling Peachy blush. This is just a matte blush. I'm just going to smile and go on the apples of the cheeks first, but I'm also going to bring the blush colour right back into the hairline as well, because that makes it a lot more natural, rather than just keeping it on the apples of the cheeks. So for highlight today, I'm going to be using the Becca Shimmer and Skin Perfector in shade Opal, and this is literally one of my favourite highlights ever. I'm going to be pressing the brush flat to the skin, and I'm just going to be working that up into the brow bone. So by curling it up into the brow bone, it just makes it look a lot more natural than a big, like, just rather than just like a beam going back and you don't know where to stop, it should blend up into the brow bone. Tip of the nose, bridge of the nose, chin, just above the eyebrows. For the lip look that I've got on today, I use the Morphe liner in shade Sweet Tea, and I top this with NYX Cosmetics Lingerie in the shade Satin Ribbon. I'm going to be using the NYX Cosmetics Butter Gloss in shade Madeline. So when that's dry, I'm going to be topping that with a bit of gloss. So this is the finished look. I just need to spray now. So I'm going to be spraying my face using the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. This is the finished look. I'm actually glad that I did use the natural shadows from the Jaclyn Hill palette, because I think they could just be my new fave. I feel like I might just start going for natural looks a lot more. So yeah, hope you enjoyed, hope you learned something. Thanks.